quite stressful set, but it's the last set. So let's persevere through it. Oh, sorry. That's better. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at our textbook first, page 41 and 42. Now, really, you can see even in your textbook, there are two methods presented. Sometimes drawing a model is possible. You see the unitary sets are shorter. But for some of us, drawing a model might not be a choice that we like because it's difficult to draw. Sometimes the fraction is so difficult for drawing models too. Then there is another method. You see this, I will call it the step-by-step method. You look at how it's presented in a very orderly manner. Tells you this is remainder, this is part of the remainder, this is about the audience, this is the fraction of the audience, this is the fraction of the audience, and this is the fraction of the audience. So at each step is clearly stated what am I dealing with. It's not just writing equations, but it's writing the process of the equations out. You look at page 42 now. Page 42 again, it shows you two different methods. Now, look at this again. There are two methods that are shown. Here, this is a very typical question. It's very common in exams. They always say that, especially the part about spending money. It's either a question about objects and types of things, or it's about spending money, the most common questions types. So you see this person, Peter, the story says that he spent some money on pens, and then fraction of the remainder on something else, on shirts. Then tell you that he needs to spend all the money on t-shirts. How many t-shirts can he buy? So it gets complicated because the last statement is about how many shirts. It's not even asking you about the fraction anymore. So that's the challenge where it comes. Now the two methods described here. First method is by drawing a model. The person here is able to draw a model because he can see clearly, understand what is 2/5 and what is 2/3 of the remainder. If you can recognize 2/3 of the remainder being 2 units is 6 t-shirts, then no problem at all, you can go straight to the 5 units in total you see. So that is if I can understand how to draw a model. But if drawing a model is challenging, you see the good thing about the model is the unitary method is shorter. But the tough thing about the model is sometimes you don't know how to draw. The other method at the bottom here shows you like a mind map method. I call this the mind map method. It's like a split method. This one actually I did, both methods we did it before last year when we were running 5, when we did fraction of the remainder. But many of us struggle with fraction of remainder, so I think a lot of us have trouble remembering and recalling this thing entirely. But it's something that is a certainty at primary 6. Now look at the screen now, can you tell me which method is something you like better? I'm looking at the textbook. Can you tell me, for this particular question on page 42, which method you prefer? You will see this method is called the mind map split method. I have that one hole split to the parts for the pens, split to the remainder. From the remainder, split to the t-shirts. The step-by-step shows you, I find the remainder, I find the fraction of the remainder, and put it equivalent to the number of shirts. And thereafter, the steps are actually is identical to the one that is unitary. It's just that instead of saying 1 unit, we are talking about 1/5 of all the shirts. Then instead of about 5 units, we are talking about 5/5 of the shirts. So there are two main methods here. Number 1, draw a model. Number 2, I split by using this mind map idea. Can I have a show of hands now? Who's for method 1? Drawing a bar model. Who's for method 2? Using the split, the mind map thing. Both okay? Okay, question 1 on page 25, you try now. By yourself. You have solved it already? I say try now. Actually, this first question isn't difficult yet. Haven't got to the part where you're ready to split. The one that requires you focus on remainder is on the next page, page 56. So this question is relatively easy. We have all the buttons. 1/3 of the buttons red. 5/12 of the buttons blue. The rest yellow. Okay, go ahead with method 3. How many yellow buttons? So it's a number by itself. And the next part that talks about the part of the yellow buttons being sold onto the blouse. Yellow buttons. There's 120 buttons. So the first step I will do is find the rest of the buttons. What does the rest of the buttons mean? These are yellow. I can use the fraction method. 1/4 minus the red, that's 1/3, minus the blue, that's 1/5. Then these are the yellow buttons. So 1/6 of the yellow will be 1/6 times 1/4. That's 1 out of 24. Then there are 120 buttons. There will be 1 out of 24 multiplied by 120. Or a simpler way is, since 1/4 of buttons are yellow, so 1/4 of button is 1/4 times 120. There will be how many? 30 buttons, right? So 1/6 times 30, 5. So that's an easy step. 5 yellow buttons are sold. Method 2. 1/3 red, so it's 1/3 times 120. Okay, method 2. Method 2 is 1/3 is red, so it's 40 buttons. Then blue is 5/12 times 120. So it's 50. So yellow is 120 minus 40 minus 50. 30. So 1/6 yellow, 1/6 times 30, answer 5 buttons. Method 2. I change everything into whole numbers. A bit tiny, cannot really see later, then I zoom in. Method 3. Draw a model. All the buttons I have to cut into thirds. This whole thing is red. But then, not just cut into thirds, I cut into 12s. Five 12, so this whole thing blue. Left 3 units yellow. So 12 units 120. 3 units 30. Yellow is 30. 1/6 times 30, answer 5. If you can't see clearly, I advise you to go home and check out the video. What I want you to do is being able to clearly tell me either you are able to understand 1 out of the 3 or all of them 3 out of 3 of the methods here, and which one you prefer. If you are to do this entirely on your own, which method would you choose to do first? Okay, 1, that's 1. Is it because I used that one first, or that one is already something you use first? Can you understand? So really, as Prof. says, there are more than one way to do things. We need to learn how we can help ourselves by solving problems in various ways. Can? Okay, it's a bit tiny, but let me just zoom in to method 2. This is, I sort each one into whole numbers, then I do the last part fraction. Method 1, I use fractions step by step to solve. Fraction over fraction, fraction over whole. Method 3, draw model, solve the model. Okay? I really need you to go back and think which one you prefer. Okay, that's it for today. Can I just share with you the next question on page 56? Will be on YouTube. That one question you go home and try by yourself. Only one question, page 56. Is that okay? Page 56, question 2. Can you do this one question for homework together with yesterday's fraction of proper fraction sets? Okay? Okay, let's get ready for PE lesson then.